Ever feel like when it comes to airline tickets, you're kind of like stuck in a game you don't know the rules to?
Yeah, like you're looking at the board but can't figure out anyone's nared move.
Exactly. Well, on today's deep dive, we're going to try to change that. We're going to pull back the curtain on airline prices and hopefully help you guys score some sweeter deals on your next trip.
Sounds good to me.
Our listeners sent us this fascinating information about this company, Three Victors. They're using big data, and we mean big data, to decipher the often unpredictable world of airline pricing.
Yeah, and when they say big data, they're not messing around. We're not just talking about comparing prices on a few websites. Three Victors is tapping into a massive amount of information.
So what kind of information are we actually talking about here?
Imagine every single click, every search, every little price adjustment happening across the entire airline industry, like globally, right? That's what Three Victors is capturing.
Wow.
It's a crazy amount. Like, we're talking over 10 terabytes of data every single day.
Every day, 10 terabytes.
Right.
What does that even, I mean, put that into perspective for me. What does 10 terabytes of data actually look like?
Okay, so imagine trying to download the entire Library of Congress every single day.
The entire Library of Congress every day.
That's 10 terabytes of data.
Okay, I get it now. It's a lot of data.
Yeah.
But just having a ton of data, even if it's the Library of Congress every day, doesn't magically make sense of it all, right? It's like you can have all the puzzle pieces in the world, but still not know what the picture is supposed to be.
Right, exactly. And that's where Three Victors really kind of sets themselves apart. See, they've built this insanely complex system on this platform called Amazon Web Services. Think of it like the engine room of a giant data spaceship, right?
I like that. I like that a lot, actually. The engine room of a data spaceship.
And inside this engine room, they have all these different tools all working together to organize and understand this mountain of information they're collecting.
Okay, so they're organizing and analyzing. What are some of these tools, these data spaceship tools?
Sure, so one of the tools that they use is called Kinesis. Now, Kinesis is like a super fast conveyor belt that sorts through, get this, millions of price changes every second.
Every second.
Every second. Some of this data is archived for later analysis, but the really fascinating stuff is what they're doing with it in real time.
Okay, so we're not talking about just historical data here. We're talking about what's happening right now, this very second, which is obviously way more useful if you're trying to, like, find a cheap flight today.
Exactly. They've got another set of tools that analyze this data in real time and use it for things like demand forecasting.
Demand forecasting. So tell me in layman's terms, because I am just a simple podcaster, what does demand forecasting mean?
Okay, so basically, demand forecasting means that they're able to predict which routes are going to be the most popular at any given time.
So this is how the airlines know to jack up the prices around the holidays.
Pretty much. They know you're more likely to book your Thanksgiving flights in, say, mid-November, so they can adjust their prices accordingly.
Sneaky. But this is all very impressive, but can Three Victors, like, do anything about it? I mean, besides just knowing when prices are about to go up, can they help us find the deals?
Well, this is where it gets really cool. They also do something called deal classification, right? What this means is their system learns to recognize those rare moments, those beautiful, beautiful moments when an airline accidentally, or maybe on purpose, who knows, drops the price on a flight way down before it goes back up again.
Wait, so they can identify those, like, super cheap fares, those ones that are, like, gone in the blink of an eye?
Exactly.
That's incredible. It's like they have a whole team of digital bloodhounds or something sniffing out all the best travel deals for us.
That's a great way to put it.
This has been really eye-opening. So to bring it back around to our listeners, what does all of this mean for the average person who's just trying to find the best deal for their next vacation?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway is that airline pricing is way more complex than we realize. It's not just some guy behind a curtain randomly changing numbers. There are some serious algorithms and data analysis going on behind the scenes.
And it sounds like Three Victors is using some pretty incredible, sophisticated technology to try and stay ahead of the game.
Exactly. And more you understand how these systems work, the better equipped you'll be to, navigate them and find those deals.
So maybe there's hope for us budget travelers after all. Maybe one day we'll even have AI travel agents that can find us those crazy cheap flights without us having to lift a finger.
I mean, it's definitely a possibility, right? This deep dive has just scratched the surface of how much big data is changing the travel industry, and it makes you wonder what other industries out there are using similar techniques and how might that affect all of us in the future.
Well, that is definitely something to think about. And on that note, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive.